Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Sarah Halstead.
Well, hello, Colorado. I like your tone. I'm freezing my ass off. But I can take it, I'm from Michigan. Yes, now you're not Colorado, you're Colorado Springs. Right? Excuse me. Oh, that's very fancy. Colorado Springs. It sounds so clean and fresh and pure and crisp and very fresh. I'm from the Flint River. I have that not so fresh feeling. I love my hometown. I love Flint. I love the people of Flint. It's just if you drink the water, you'll die. We have bad water. We have lead in our water. Yeah, we have lead so high, and if consumed, could cause severe abnormalities. For 18 years, I drank that shit out of a garden hose. I have something growing on my back, and I don't know if it's a pimple or a nipple. The lead in the Flint water is so high you could write with it. Flint used to be known for General Motors, now they're known for number 2 pencils. I did something really exciting, something I've never done before. Recently, I attended my very first Jewish wedding, and it ended up being my own. I just got married. Thank you. Thanks very much. I married a Jewish man, and people are like, did I convert? And in today's very intense times, the answer to that question depends on who I'm talking to. It's intense right now. If you're a Hollywood producer who can help my career, yes, I'm Jewish. If you're an anti-Semitic, radical protester from Harvard, yes, I'm Jewish. Bring it, punk. Bring it, I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid because I will never run into you in Harvard. I'm not smart enough to find that place with my GPS. I don't know my husband very well. He asked me to marry him right away, but when you're middle-aged and someone asks you to marry them, you just say yes and hope for the best. We're gonna learn about each other as we go. I'm just happy to no longer be single. I don't like being single, and I was single for so long because it took me so long to find this fourth husband. And oh my God, you guys, I was single for so long. I was single for 10 long weeks. And I just was like, starting to get self-conscious. But I'm razzing ya. All right, this is husband number 2. I like to lead with husband number 4, so when I tell you it's number 2, you're less judgmental. And I was single for 10 long years since my divorce. And I couldn't understand why. I had relationships, but no one who wanted to get married. And I just was baffled, man. Like, I'm nice. I take care of myself. Yes, I'm middle-aged. But let me tell you something about middle-aged women. We're fucking fun. That's right. Where are my middle-aged women at? Yes! Middle-aged women, we're fun. Responsibly. I jump up and down on the bed, and I have a high FICO score. And women who laughed at the joke have a high FICO score. And men who laughed at that joke are very relieved that they're with a woman who has a high FICO score. I see you. I'm pretty good at guessing women's FICOs because they will be the most confident in the room. Oh yes, a woman with a high FICO, she's confident. She knows her worth. You, miss, you're about a 740. You're confident. Yup, see? She's like, yup, that's exactly right. And let's see, you are so confident that you're like, what's a FICO score? You haven't had to take out a FICO score since 1999. Good for you. You're looking at, I have a high FICO. You're looking at a 757. All right, that's right. I know my worth. I'm confident. I know my worth. On my first date with my husband, I made him wait for me in the restaurant for 2 whole hours before I had sex with him. I'm confident. That's right. I know my worth. Yes. But my husband, he does this thing. Do we have any divorcees? Any other divorcees in the audience? Okay. All right. We got a couple. All right. And if you're not divorced, you will be. So, it's a sprint, not a marathon. But, I'm easing into this marriage, and I'm learning about my husband. And my first husband, we didn't have a shot. We got married so young, 40 and 42. And, it takes time to develop. You need time to develop. And I'm evolved now. Okay, and I'm more patient. Like, I just found out my husband has a problem with alcohol. Yeah, keeping up with me. But I'm patient now, and I'm gonna help him through this. So my husband's problem with alcohol isn't drinking it, but it's buying it. Yeah, he's a wine collector. Ugh, a wine collector. Do you know about these people? They buy wine and it's just for show. Yeah, he has over 400 bottles of wine. He's got a problem with alcohol. I'm like, honey, why aren't we drinking it? He says, it's just for a special occasion. So, what he'll do is he'll take out a bottle and he'll show it to me. And it will be like a Robert Mondavi, Cabernet Sauvignon, 1995. And he'll explain why it's so special. And he'll explain how magnificent it's going to taste. And then he'll put it back. Like, wait a second. Why aren't we opening that? He's like, it's just for a special occasion. So when he proposed, and I said yes, I grabbed a bottle of his champagne, and he said, no. That's just for a special occasion. So that night when he wanted to have sex, I said, no, this is just for a special occasion. Yes, we're learning about each other as we go. We're gonna get to know each other, but I'm gonna make this marriage work. I am. I'm gonna keep going to the gym. I'm gonna keep going through his phone. That's what you do. And I only look at his phone when he sleeps. And I'm just looking for anything incriminating. I don't know the guy. What's his kink? just looking. I'm searching and searching. I'm like looking for big booby Barbie, or anything to do with feet. Is he a foot guy? Is he one of those freaky bastards? But all I can find is wine.com, Bethmo, Total Wine. You guys, I married a guy who jerks off to big bold Cabernet from Napa Valley. God help me. But I believe in the institution of marriage. And I don't give a fuck what it is. If you're homosexual, if you're heterosexual, I don't give a fuck. I believe in the institution. And I just don't believe that men and women get along. I don't believe we get along. And they say men want to fix women's problems, but us women, we just want you men to listen. Have you heard this? I don't know who wrote that, but men, I'm here to tell you that statement is full of shit. Okay? No, that is so incorrect. Men, we want you to fix our shit. Fix our shit. Absolutely, especially when you're the one who probably broke it. Come on, fix our shit. Fix that shit. If I have a problem with my internet, fix it. If I have a problem with my car, fix it. If I have a problem with my kitchen sink, fix it. If I have a problem with my cognitive dissonance causing myopic tendencies because my mother repeatedly forgot to pick me up from ballet class as a child, well, then find another woman, because not all shit is fixable. I'm seeing a therapist. A massage therapist. We're gonna work it out, you know. I'm practicing law of attraction. So it's this thing, law of attraction is based on a pseudoscience that good things will happen if you operate on a high frequency of vibration. So I've adjusted the settings to high on my vibrator. And good things are happening. Very good things. Am I glowing? Now I am wearing new blush. Okay? They now make a blush in orgasm pink. And screaming orgasm pink. Yes, and I couldn't make up my mind, so I chose the color Almost There. That's a nice color pink too. You know the color pink, where we just tried our best and now it's time to throw in the towel and cuddle. All right? A couple of you girls are wearing it, I see you. A couple of you men are wearing it too. I don't wanna point you out. Now, those were 2 orgasm jokes back to back because I'm a giver. Oh my gosh, you know, it's we had a big wedding. We had a big wedding and we're settling in, and my husband, he shared the sweetest thing with me the other night. He told me that he wanted to have a baby. And my reply was, with who? He doesn't even know how old I am, you guys. That shit has sailed, all right? I don't know. I have no idea how old he thinks I am, but he thinks I'm young enough to where he has to pull out. And it is so goddamn adorable. I don't have a heart, to tell him. But I really have no problem adopting. I always saw that for myself, and I'm thinking about adopting an older kid, get him out of the system, because every teenager deserves a chance to help me with my social media. They can start with my TikTok. No, but I'm terrible with social media. I'm so bad at the filters, who knows what people really look like when you meet them in person, okay? These people, they're so fucking good with the filters and the Photoshop and I'm terrible. I don't know. I have a friend who is famous for posting photos of herself, okay? She's an influencer. Yeah. So we went out the other night, and we took some photos, and the next day I was proud. I posted hashtag about last night. Well, my phone starts blowing the fuck up. She is so furious with me. She's like, oh my God, take that disgusting photo down. I can't believe you posted that god-awful photo. It is so gross. Take it down and I'll fix it and then you can repost. I'm like, Jesus Christ, okay. I take it down, I send it to her. She sends it back. I'm the only one she retouched. She gave me a new nose. What's wrong with my nose? Now, I'm what you call famous adjacent. So I've been in a lot of movies as of late. I've been in this new thing that they call vertical films. So vertical films are basically what's happening is people's attention spans are so short, they're no longer going to the movies. They're staying home and watching movies on their phone. because people's attention spans are so short, they're no longer going to the movies. They're staying home and watching movies on their phone. Because people's attention spans are so short, they're no longer going to movies. They're watching movies on their phone. And it's called Vertical Films. And I have been starring in all of them. And they're hugely successful everywhere except the United States. I'm very famous in Croatia. I get mauled in Malta. And and I know I'm a little older. I'm not gonna book the big shit, But I knew I was getting older and losing my looks the day I had to pay for my cocaine. So that's when I knew, And I'm not, I'm not saying cocaine is bad. I'm not saying do cocaine. It's bad today. But when I did cocaine, okay, it wasn't bad. Everybody did cocaine. We didn't have fentanyl back in my day. I'm a Gen Xer, all right? We didn't have to worry about this fentanyl shit. No, back in my day, we walked to school in the snow and we did bumps of cocaine in algebra class. And that shit was pure as snow, okay? And the thing is, I just, and I don't do cocaine anymore, all right? Not that I have to pay for it. I'm Sarah fucking Halstead, okay? I'm a big deal in Bogota. Thank you. But my biggest fan base remains to be my family in Flint, Michigan. And yes, they are awesome. They all flew from Flint to our wedding in Los Angeles and drank everyone under the table. Because when we were from Flint, Michigan, you can't drink the... Right, just seeing if you're paying attention, Colorado Springs. Yes. So my 93-year-old Graham flew from Flint to be at our wedding. The water didn't affect her. And that's because all she drinks is wine out of a box. But when people are looking, it's Kendall Jackson Reserve. And she doesn't like to admit that she drinks. And she does this really cute thing. She'll go to a restaurant and she'll order a half glass of wine 17 times. And my 22-year-old half-brother came to the wedding, and I love him very much. He's special needs, or that's what they say. I think he's faking it. I do. Now hear me out. I know that sounds a little harsh. Okay, but the kid is very bright. He is so smart, you guys. He lives with my dad, rent-free. My dad pays for his bills. My dad preps all his meals. My brother isn't special needs, he's a goddamn genius. And I let him know that I know that he's faking it. Oh, yeah. When we're alone, I shove him up against the wall. I get real close to his face. I'm like, listen, I'm not falling for your special needs bullshit. We gave you the bottled water. When I brought my husband home to meet my dad, I knew it was serious. And so, I told my dad, hey, I'm bringing home my boyfriend. Now, my husband's name is Rich. I said, Dad, I'm bringing home my boyfriend, Rich. And I'm pretty sure my dad heard, I'm bringing home my rich boyfriend. I'm pretty sure because my dad said yes after Rich asked for my hand in marriage 5 minutes after knowing him. Okay? Just 5 minutes after knowing him. I'm like, Dad, really? This fucking guy? So my dad thinks I'm married rich, and that's okay. And and when it's your second wedding, it's a little uncomfortable. Like, you don't really know, can you ask your parent for money, for the wedding? Because my dad paid for the first one. So I, kind of entered the situation with trepidation. I'm like, hey, Dad, and he cut me short. He's like, and he handed me an envelope. And inside was a $50 gift certificate to Mickey D's. Mickey D's, $50 from Mickey D's goes a long way, so I was very appreciative. You can get a lot of cafes with Mac cafes. But you know, money it's just not important to me. And a lot of people don't believe me when I say that. But it's not, and I can prove it. Because before meeting my husband, I was in a relationship with a very, very wealthy man. And not only was he very, very wealthy, but he was a big-time TV director / writer. So a lot of people thought I was with him for my career, or for the money, or for both, and they were right. Oh no, I loved him. I did. I loved him. But here's the lesson I learned from that relationship. I wanted to build my life with someone. And he was a little older. He already had the amazing house on the hill. He already had the amazing career. He already had the amazing child. So I wanted to build my life with someone, but his life had already been built. So I broke it off. And I share this story not to prove that I'm self-righteous, but to prove that I'm very stupid. If I had a rewind button, I might rewind that shit, but no, it's fine. It is. It's fine, and I am very happy building my life with someone, and I tell you, we had something celebratory just recently happen. This week, my special, RVs and Cats, reached 2.8 million streams. Thank you. And my husband still won't open a bottle of champagne. Oh my gosh, this special recounts my journey traveling cross country in a 30-foot RV with my cat, Benny. Yeah, so I loved this little guy. He was my companion. I loved Benny, and Benny loved me. The problem was, Benny loved me a little too much. So if anyone got within 2 feet of me, Benny would savagely attack them, sending them to the emergency room. Right. And I wondered why I was single for the past 10 years. I had a 22-pound problem named Benny. Right, so now it was time for Rich to meet Benny, and I was really nervous. I'm like, oh my God. You know, so my husband comes over and sees Benny, and I'm like, okay, here we go, another one bites the dust. But the most amazing thing happened. Benny sniffed him, and then he began to purr, and then he began to nuzzle his leg, and then he bit him in the dick. Oof. And it was bad. It was, but that's when I knew. That's when I knew I met the one, because he stayed. Rich stayed. And I knew I met my fucking soulmate, okay? That's when you know. Now, a quick sidebar about my husband is he has another problem besides alcohol. He's a deadhead. Yes, you know about the Deadheads? Yeah, they follow this band, the Grateful Dead, religiously. Yes, oh yeah, the Grateful Dead. They live and die by the late Jerry Garcia. They worship, and now it's really interesting because my husband, you know, he's not a crier. You know, he didn't cry at our wedding, he didn't cry at his dad's funeral, but he cries every time he hears the song Truckin'. I'm like, well, okay, maybe I need to give the Grateful Dead a chance, you know, and we have it in the car. I want to be a good wife, so I set one of the stations to Grateful Dead radio, and I'm like, okay, I can listen to one song. Well, the thing is, the Grateful Dead songs never end. They just keep going and going and going, and Truckin's on. And I look over at my husband, and he has tears streaming down his face. Just streaming down. And I figured, okay, there must be something more to it. So I wrote down the lyrics of Truckin'. And I was hoping maybe you could all dissect with me, and we could go through it together, and maybe you should tell me what I'm missing here. Okay, so Truckin'. Got my chips cashed in. Keep truckin'. Like the doodah man. Together, more or less in line, just keep truckin'. And it just never ends. It never ended. And then there was Jerry Garcia's 65-minute guitar solo. You guys. And so the day came when Benny got sick. And that's the thing, our pets don't live long enough. Benny got sick, he drank the Flint water. And I suspect maybe my husband gave him the Flint water. I don't know. That's a whole other set. Anyway, and I had him on, he was in a lot of pain. I had him on medicinal cannabis. They have that for pets now. And I tried it first to make sure it was okay for him. Okay? And that was going well, except all he wanted to do is eat potato chips and watch Golden Girls. But he was in a lot of pain, and we couldn't do anything more. We had to put him to sleep, and so we took him to the vet. And they make it nice for you when you're in this situation. I don't know if you've ever been through this, but they take you to a nice room, and it smells good, and they have candles and soft music playing. And they brought a feeble Benny to me, wrapped in blankets, and they place him in my arms. And I'm rocking him. And I tell him he's been a good boy. And the vet administers the shot. And my husband says, "Go to Jerry." Go to Jerry. Those were the last words my beloved Benny, who I love more than anything in this world, heard. Go to Jerry. And I got to thinking, one day my husband will be on his deathbed. And I'm going to know exactly what to say. When he's about to take his last breath, I'm going to reach down in his ear, and I'm going to say, "Go to Benny." And then I'm going to open all of his wine. Every single fucking bottle. I'm Sarah Halstead. I like you guys a lot. You're really great. Thank you so much.
Sarah Halstead, ladies and gentlemen.